Hey guys, this is video 2 of my series of the good life and how to achieve it. And I go through the lessons I've learned and that I'm still learning in order to achieve the good life. And the good life is health, wealth, love, and happiness. And in the first video, we went through awareness. And I gave the analogy that imagine trying to walk through your house blind. Right? You're going to walk into a lot of things and you're going to make a lot of mistakes. That's the important thing. You're going to make mistakes and you're going to waste time. Right? But when we inverse that, when we have our eyes open, we can see what is going on, and we can progress through the house without making mistakes, or making a lot fewer mistakes, and we do it a whole lot more efficiently, and we save time, and we achieve a goal a whole lot faster, and that is what we want. So, coming into this next lesson is that time is emotion. Now, I went through the course by Tony Robbins, the Breakthrough University, and I was going through a course on time management. Not sure what the actual course is called, but I totally recommend you get Breakthrough University. It's an app that Tony Robbins made with lots of great courses and content in there. It's great to go through that yourself. But going through the basics of time management, what I've learned from Tony Robbins, Seneca, who wrote the book on the shortness of life, and a few tips on that, and really understanding time and life, right? I'm not going to go too deep, very practical stuff we're going to go through. So time is emotion. So I'm going to give the analogy that he gave. When you do something you love, right, something that you really have a passion for 10 hours, it feels like 10 minutes. And then when you do something for 10 minutes that you really, really hate, you dread this task, and you do it for 10 minutes, it feels like 10 hours, like you want to kill yourself or something like that, right? That's how humans experience time. That's how we experience life. We experience it through emotions, right? I don't care if you're a big man and I don't feel emotions, blah blah blah. That doesn't matter. All humans, right, operate on a very chemical-based level where inside of us there's hormones reacting with each other. There's all kinds of chemical reactions going on inside of us and in our brains, and that's how we experience life. We experience it through the emotions and the feelings, right? Whether it's happiness, sadness, anger, and you go down all the list of all the emotions we have, right? We experience life through emotions. So another thing to say is that Aristotle said death is the end of feeling. What he meant was death is really the end of emotion, and as we said here, death is the end of time, because time is emotion. So when we have that notion, is that really there's a lot of great thinkers, right, who have connected time and emotion, right, together. Is that as human beings, that's how we experience life, and time is really, there's 60 seconds a minute, there's 60 minutes in an hour, yes, right, whether you experience it in a good time or a bad time, like cosmologically, it is the same thing. But as humans, we experience it differently, right? And that's the important thing, is that we don't operate on some high level of, where time is just all equal and everything is bliss. No, that's not how we operate. We operate on different feelings and emotions and different emotional states. And that's going to affect how we experience time and how we experience our life. So really altering our emotional states will help us manage our time, like that we have on earth. So now moving on to the next point, life is long. So in the book by Seneca on the shortness of life, he says, Mother Nature has granted us or gifted us with a generous amount of time. And he says, those people who say life is short waste their time with flurries of activities. Now, he didn't accept, and this is not exact quote, just paraphrasing here. So what he's saying, that if we waste our time that we have, obviously we're going to live a short life. But if we invest our time well, that we have been given, if we invest our time well, we will live a long life. So in Stephen Covey's book, right, he gives us like this little table where it says quadrant 1, quadrant 2, quadrant 3, quadrant 4. And in quadrant 1, right, these are urgent activities, right? Or you can say flurries of activities. These are the things you're doing day to day, right? Say all these to-do lists for today are full of urgent activities that you really, really need to get done, right? I don't know, they may be paying your rent, paying the electricity, paying for the groceries, paying for your car, whatever it is. These are all urgent things that need to be done, right? And when you ask yourself the question, what needs to be done, you look at that to-do list. When you ask yourself that question, what needs to be done today, you make a to-do list, right? And then, as you go through your day, you'll cross them off, assuming that you're productive. So that's asking yourself what needs to be done. But then moving to quadrant 2, which is really doing what is important, right? When you do what's important, you become outcome orientated. You ask yourself the question, what is my outcome? And as Tony Robbins said, the quality of your life is determined by the quality of the questions you ask yourself. So if you ask yourself the right questions, right, and you attempt to answer it with the best, you attempt to answer it as best as you can, then you're going to start seeing real progress. And when you ask yourself these questions, when you ask yourself, what is my outcome, right? What is my outcome from doing all of this? I don't have any stress. That's the outcome. But that's not what we really want, right? We want higher purpose things. We want bigger things, right? We want to change the world. We want to, be like Mother Teresa. We want to be like Bill Gates, very altruistic, contributing to curing cancer. Being like Elon Musk, trying to move the humanity, spread out through space, going to Mars and things like that. And that's the things that, we want to do. But we don't always achieve that because those things take time, it takes energy. Right? And those things are finite and we don't have infinite amounts of it. But we have enough to make a difference. And then that difference is created in being outcome orientated and doing the things that are important. And how do you analyze those things as being important? How do you find those important things in your life? That is really, the tough question to ask is really answering the question, what is my outcome that I want? When you ask yourself the question and you don't know what it is, you've been wasting a lot of time. So a good test or another question to ask yourself is one that Stephen Covey posed in his book 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Is that it's the funeral test. If you were to die, right, anytime, and then you were to have a funeral, your friends, family would come there, right? You want to ask yourself questions like, who's gonna come there? Is a lot of people gonna come, or is only one person gonna come? Maybe only my mom is gonna come. Maybe only my sister's gonna come. Those kind of things, right? And then you ask yourself, right? Maybe those people come. What are they gonna talk about? What are they gonna say about me? What are those things that are gonna carry on beyond my grave? What are those things that are gonna live on? Right? Those ideas and like lifetime lessons that you have immortalized. What is going to live beyond you? Like people like Albert Einstein, they are in some way immortal, right? When you bring up E is equal to mc squared, Albert Einstein. When you bring up nuclear bomb, Albert Einstein, right? He's been immortalized. And when you bring up people like Bill Gates, I'm sure when he dies, people are going to talk about the stuff he did for decades. Elon Musk, people are going to talk about the stuff he did for decades. Aristotle, that guy's been dead for ages and people are still talking about it. Not because, he's famous or, he did something rad like he ran around the plaza naked. No. But he did something that was great for humanity that lived on. And then all that was accomplished by being outcome orientated. Now, I didn't go sit down and have an interview with Aristotle and say, how did you achieve this? Were you outcome orientated? No. But obviously this can be assumed because now when people are repeating that same kind of success, obviously it's not on the same scale, but when people are still, repeating great success, we generally notice that they're being outcome orientated and they're focusing things that are important. So, and then those things that are important in your life, you need to find out, things like what are your strengths, right? The things that you're good at, what are your weaknesses? That's also very important. So knowing what your strengths, that's what you want to do. Knowing your weaknesses, that's what you want to stay away from. And also kind of like, make yourself better at it so it's not so bad, right? That's like maths. Maths is my weakness, right? I don't want to completely avoid it, but I want to make sure I do some maths so I'm not completely useless at it, but I don't want to focus my time on it. I don't want to make that my outcome is being better at maths. I don't want my outcome to be anything related to my weakness, but I can't allow that weakness to hinder me in my strengths, because my strengths have something to do with, with finances or going to the gym. I'm going to need some maths. I'm going to need to calculate how much weight I'm going to have to put on the bar when I'm bench pressing, because there's no perfect weight number. You're gonna have to add 10 kilos, 10, 10, 10, 5, 5, 5. You're gonna have to know some maths. With your mind, you're gonna have to know some maths. So if that's your weakness, you need to not focus on it, but almost just become competent at it. So that's another thing, just going off on a little bit of a tangent there about strengths and weaknesses. You want to focus on important tasks that relate to your strengths, and you want to achieve something in that area. So say your strengths is, let me give you an example. Say strengths are like your height. Maybe you have really good genetics. You're really tall, you're really athletic, you're fast, right? You got a high metabolism, all these kind of things, right? You're a very athletic person, right? You want to focus on those strengths, right? Because you want to sit down and say, okay, what can I do with my strengths? Well, we can be like Michael Jordan. Okay, I want to be a basketball player. I want to be the best, right? Because everything's on your side. Okay, I'm going to do that. But then you'll notice that these people, they didn't always just focus, on that one thing. They like kind of diversified into other things, because they didn't. When Michael Jordan went after basketball, he also made his own brand, right? And then out of that brand of Michael Jordan, you saw this guy who never gave up, always had a passion and a fury for what he was doing, right? When you saw him play basketball, it was, that guy was on fire. You can see the passion, right? That affected a lot of people. A lot of people look at Michael Jordan, they don't say, oh, that guy, he was just born with it. His dad hooked him up with the NBA. People don't say that about him, right? That's the great thing. People saw him as this very successful figure, right? And they were like, man, that guy, he worked so hard, he had a passion for it, and he just worked, and he worked hard, and he worked smart, and, and they really looked up to that person. So whatever your strength is, right? Whatever it is, right? Can be around sports, can be around maths, can be around science, can be around business. Whatever it is, there's always a way for you, right, to create that kind of big impact and that big altruistic impact for everyone. There's always a way to do it. So, recapping, right? Life is long if you invest your time well. Or in order to invest your time well, you need to be outcome orientated. You need to ask yourself, what is my outcome? Am I doing things that are important? Am I building on my strengths? And am I kind of avoiding my weaknesses? Am I staying away from it? But am I competent with them? Right? That's a very important thing to know. Because you don't want to involve yourself hectically in weaknesses, but you don't want to be useless at it. So a day will come where your weakness will be at your front door. You need to be able to deal with it by yourself. Right? You need to be able to deal with it at a very basic level. But you don't need to be very advanced with it. Keep it like that. So hope you guys learned something useful with this. I'll be back probably next week with the third video in this series, because I want to make sure that each video is something really meaningful and there's actually great content, because this here, learning about time and how to manage it and the questions to ask yourself going through is very important. Because if you really ask yourself the right questions and you answer them, right, generally you're forced to answer correctly, right? And if you don't answer correctly, well, that's not really going to happen. The questions are like that, because when you answer those questions correctly, you generally start going on the right path. So the step after asking questions is actually doing them, right? When you answer them, you're going to have to put that into reality. What is the outcome? A billionaire. Well, you got to work to that. So in the next video, we're going to go through some strategies, and it's called ESS, Evolutionary Sustainable Strategies. We're going to go through that, and that's going to help you achieve success when it comes to answering those difficult questions. So hope you guys learned something useful, and stick around next week for the third part of the series.